And welcome back. 'Tis the season. Colds and flu can disrupt daily life, causing sick days and absenteeism from school and or work. And given the close-knit nature of families that are gathering and the potential for kids to bring germs at home, well, it might seem challenging to shield yourself from these illnesses. Fortunately, there are some effective measures that you can protect you and your family with. And here now to tell us more, we've got pediatrician Dr. Mona Amin, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I tell you, this time of year is kind of rough, particularly for parents. You got your kids, you go home to school. I mean, they come home from school, with something. And before you know it, what they come home from school with, the whole house has. And how prevalent is
Yes.
this?
Oh, I see this all the time and I experience it too. I have two little ones. One of them is a preschooler, and he's always bringing home germs because that's just the nature of being a preschooler around other children. So you're right on that this is a reality that when life happens, germs happen, and it's inevitable that you and your family may get sick from time to time, but I do believe in a adopting a germ prevention strategy that's more holistic. So, looking at various things that we can add to help reduce our risk of getting sick, understanding that yes, illness can still happen, but hopefully we can reduce it and reduce the risk of spread.
And when we talk about reducing, that's the number that we want to see. We want to see those numbers reduced across the country. But on an individual basis at home, what do I do? First of all, to protect myself from the spread of germs.
So, one of the things that we can do, obviously, is following CDC guidance for vaccines, like getting the flu shot as recommended. And as a reminder, it can reduce our risk of getting the flu, but more importantly, it can help reduce the risk of complications and hospitalizations, including in children. And then you mentioned around the home, and cleaning and disinfecting your home regularly can help keep germs at bay. And so I recommend tackling those germy, high touch and high traffic areas like counters, doorknobs, remotes, and light switches with things like disinfecting solutions like Clorox disinfecting wipes, which kills 99.9% of germs on hard, non porous surfaces. And using this, especially when someone is actively sick in the house, so that hopefully other members of the house won't get sick too.
Got a dear friend, and she is what we call germaphobe, and so she wants to make sure that every time you turn around, there's a wipe down, there's a
Oh,
wipe down, there's a wipe down. But really, how often should a person be wiping down? I'm not trying to put her on the spot. I don't want her to call me or that, but but we're gonna make this plain for the average person.
This is a great question. And the answer to that is that it could really depend on the person, the family, and who's living in that household. For example, if it's all adults who are healthy, they may only do disinfection when someone's sick. Or if there's a newborn or a baby in the house or someone who's immunocompromised, they may take a little more precaution on using wipes and disinfecting mist more often. So it really is important to understand that this is a case by case basis, and a family has the tools that they need, whether it's the Clorox disinfecting wipes or their disinfecting mist, to be able to help reduce that risk however they see fit.
Talk to me a little bit about washing hands. We hear about this all the time. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Then I get, you should wash your hands, sing a song, wash your hands, do this. You know, we got a whole lot of
Yeah.
different remedies for washing hands. How effective, or what are the proper ways to have the effective way of, or I should say, effectively wash your hands?
Well, you are right. The reason why it's so important is that most germs enter our body through our mouth, our nose, and our eyes. So, for example, you touch something like a door handle and then wipe your face, wipe your eyes, and then now germs have entered through your mucous membranes, which is part of your face. And so that is how we get germs into our system. So that is why washing our hands and underneath fingernails when you wash your hands is so important. And the most effective way to do this is to wash your hands for 20 seconds minimum with warm soap and water. And like I said, get under those fingernails. And for anyone who is tuning in that has a child like I do that is resistant to hand washing, making it this a matter of fact thing and a boundary. Hey, it's time to wash our hands, not do you want to wash your hands? If you want to eat, if you want to play after this, you have to wash your hands before we do this. Let's go to the bathroom. I can help you, or you can walk there yourself. They can choose what soap they use, but the hand washing is an important boundary if you make it an important boundary in your home. And frankly, you have to model it as well. If you're not washing your hands, your child's not going to follow suit.
Yeah. How important are these high touch surfaces? Because we hear a lot about high traffic areas, high touch surfaces. But how important is it really in maintaining this to achieve this goal here?
Yeah, so those high traffic surfaces, like I mentioned, and things that you may not even realize, cell phones, remote controls are very notorious, toilet flushes. These high traffic and high touch areas can have germs that live on it for a while, and the duration can depend on the germ. But it is important that when, again, someone is sick in the house, especially, that we are disinfecting those surfaces so that, again, another person who may be healthy doesn't touch that surface and then get that illness spread to them as well.
Yeah, we talk about this going on a lot in households, and how's the workplace really being impacted by this too? We talk about the house, but what about work?
Yeah, so I'm a practicing clinician. I'm a pediatrician, and my husband's an ER doctor, by the way, and we see germs constantly. It is the season, whether you're in Florida, where I'm located, or New York, or the West Coast, germs are everywhere. So it is our peak season for viruses. And a lot of children get sick. Maybe they have a fever, they have to be monitored at home. And like you said, it can mean a lot of missing school, a lot of absenteeism, and a lot of families and parents having to call out of work. So I think this holistic reduction strategy is really important. So, like I said, hopefully we can reduce the chances and also the frequency of illness, right? Illness can happen, but hopefully we can get from being sick every other week to maybe sick every few months by supporting measures like I mentioned already.
Yeah, I see some Clorox in the background. Highly advised using some Clorox, huh?
Yes, it's really important. Like I said, we use it very much in our house with a younger daughter, an infant, and my son being a preschooler, especially when we had COVID go through the house recently, and hand, foot, and mouth, and all these viruses that can go through the house. And the packaging says, what viruses it can be effective for. But it's really important to, again, use this along with the other strategies to help reduce that spread as much as we can for our kiddos and also ourselves because it's not fun being sick.
No, it's not. It's not fun being sick, and certainly, we know that the impact of one is being staying home and having not to be able to go out. It can be hard for families, and definitely hard if you're a parent and you're trying to take care of not one kid but multiple children
Oh, yeah.
who are actually sick. So, what are some good places for me to go to get some information?
Yeah, so for more helpful tips and tools on how we can reduce the risk of germ spread in our home, please visit Clorox.com for more information.
And we talked a little bit before we go. We talked a little bit about how germs actually stay on surfaces, and it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So each, when we talk about germs on surfaces, numbers in terms of time and how long they actually before they dissipate, that varies, I guess.
Yes, you are right. That varies on the type of surface, but also the virus and germ that we're talking about, which is why it's hard to give some blanket, responses and answers. But it really has to do with, again, those high touch surfaces. If someone is sick in the home, they're touching that surface over and over, right? Let's say a remote control. So that is something that you're going to want to consider because the germ is just going to continue to live there as long as that person is sick. So yes, the duration can depend, but that is why it's important to adopt all these strategies, hopefully, so that we can help stop that spread in that house.
And how does weather play a part in all of this? You made no problem in letting us know you're down there in sunny Florida, while we're up here struggling up here in the cold. So talk about.
I'm sorry.
No, no, no. You're not sorry. You just had to rub it in, but I understand. So we're gonna get through the interview. But talk to me about weather and how that actually plays a part of this too.
That is a great question. And so, if we can be outdoors more, and I know that's difficult in the Northeast or colder climates, obviously, being outdoor can really help because when you're outdoor, germs are less likely to spread because you're not in a poorly ventilated area, trapped with other people who may have germs. And also, exercise outdoors and sunlight can really help our overall mental health and overall well being that can help reduce stress. And also, that has an impact on our immune system. So it's a holistic approach here, like I said. So resting, getting sleep, prioritizing sleep, managing stress, staying hydrated with water, obviously, if it's a child old enough to drink water, these are some basic strategies to help support our immune system. And like you said, our peak virus time actually is in the summertime as well in Florida because many people are indoors because it's so hot and humid. And right now, although I do see a lot of illness, it's not nearly as much as what I see my Northeast colleagues seeing because of the weather. So weather does have an impact. Humidity has an impact, as in some viruses thrive more in humid environments. Some viruses thrive more in drier climates. So it really just depends on where you live and maybe what viruses you are currently seeing at the moment.
Dr. Mona Amin, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for being with us. And I want to assure you, I am not a hater. I'm just not.
I love living in a warmer climate in winter, so I'm happy.
I'm living
Thank you so much
vicariously
for
through
having
you.
me.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Okay.
All righty. Listen, if you want more information, please go ahead and visit the website at Clorox.com. Yeah, I love New York, but you know, this winter thing and this snow thing, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So when winter starts wintering, it's a problem. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.